So that sucks.
What's on the battery? Doesn't charge.
Let's go through. Let's charge it.
Let's what? Let's quickly go through. Oh, but I have so much to talk about.
I mean,
okay. So long story short, in a public interview, the director of Diablo 1 and Diablo 2 said not great things about Diablo 3 and the direction that they went with it. The director of Diablo 3, Jay Wilson, allegedly posted on the Facebook. So on Facebook, one of the people who was part of the Diablo 3 team posted the article and said, "Wow, I feel like I just got run over by a bus." And there's a bunch of other friends in the development department talking about it. And one of them is Jay Wilson, who's the director, saying, "Fuck that loser." Okay? Period. That was his only comment.
Alright, so that is all about the director leaving?
No, it was about the Diablo 2's director's comments about where Diablo 3 went and some of the negative feedbacks and stuff. And so the Diablo 2 director was just pretty much being honest. I read the interview. What he said was honest. He said, "If I would have done that, I would have done it differently. It makes me sad to see the direction that Jay Wilson took the Diablo 3 in. I'm regretful, but at the same time, it's good. I feel good because it was the people that made Diablo and Diablo 1 2. This proves that it was the people that made that good. It wasn't just the franchise, And so Jay Wilson, the director of Diablo 3, talking about the guy who made those comments, said, "Fuck that loser."
Mm-hmm. Continue.
That was it.
Wow.
And
it's one of the biggest. It's like when you have a public figure, it would be like President Obama saying, like just being real honest and legit, and like, fuck Mitt Romney, asshole.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
the killing people.
I know it's a big deal. I guess I'm just more interested in the fallout. In the fallout, than I guess the bomb itself.
So the forums blew up. He's getting attacked. People are saying the player base is saying, "Why hasn't anyone said anything about this?" Everyone's questioning whether it really was that or not, or if it was a Photoshop screenshot of him saying that. If that was the real Jay Wilson, his real Facebook, no one knows. But most people are Indians, so they're going to take it at face value. More Indians than Chiefs. Anyways, most people are just going to follow the herd. They'll believe it, and they will say that it's true. So let's just assume that it's true. Should he be forced to retract his statements on Facebook?
No.
Come on, dude. I don't think so.
Okay.
Then again, having any public power whatsoever or position does come with less privacy and less.
You can't just say shit like
rights.
that.
Because people are stupid.
You can say shit like that,
but I can say shit like that. Fuck you, Jay Wilson. You ruined it.
The whole
I don't care.
thing kind of showed that.
It did.
You can't just say whatever you want
anymore.
Just,
not when you're that high up, and he is. Jay Wilson is a figurehead for Blizzard right now.
You can't. The higher up you are, the less of an actual free person.
Yeah,
you're part of the machine now.
And so that's been a big article in game. I mean, I go to every game site and somebody's saying something about it, as well as the Blizzard forums are just ablaze saying that he needs to step down for saying that. He needs to step down as director, one of Blizzard's game directors, because he said that. Because he said, "Fuck that loser."
Because his game was shitty.
His game was shitty.
Yeah. So let it in my.
Anyways, that was the only other headline that I had. So we all three have discussion topics.
I have one really quick one. It's not even going to take.
Oh, okay, cool.
Mine is just suggestivism, just gratuitous suggestivism in games, and that it's still here, and we're trying to make games some mature form of media to tell stories. And I mean, there's still ridiculous Catwoman cleavage, and Miranda has an ass like I've never seen before in my life.
So good.
I mean, I'm not going to say I don't enjoy it, but at the same time, how can we push maturity in games as a storytelling device? And
And we're off.
And Mark's gone.
Mark's gone.
I don't exist.
Unless you wanna.
Scooch in with, I'll scooch in with Shaq after a while.
Oh, this is wide.
What's up?
And his is standard.
This is me. Go this way.
I'm sitting in the
Okay.
background.
Let me get this straight. Just real quick, because we need to end. I gotta go home, and we've talked a lot.
We've already talked a lot.
We've talked a lot. But let me get this straight. You feel like that the video game industry needs to cut back on that because of TV and movies aren't as bad?
No, I'm just saying, why did people in games want to be taken seriously, and we're still throwing the stuff in here like that? Like, why does Catwoman's costume look like
We
that?
won't be, and so we won't be taken seriously until we stop
I just think
objectifying the female
that
figure.
has a lot to do with it, I think.
Really?
I think it has a lot to do with it.
The problem, and I don't disagree. I think that we would get taken more seriously as a media, if we did cut it back and we stopped portraying these really unrealistic women's bodies. I mean, women don't look like women in video games.
but
women on TV and movie look like women, even though they're made up and they're fake and they're silicone. They're still real people. But the women in video games is like it's the Barbie complex,
It still bugs me.
I disagree. If it bugs you to the point to where you don't want to play it, you don't want to. Then don't play it. If the
Well, it's
artist
just like-
wants to go that
Well,
way,
we want to see, but this is Trey's this matters to him. He wants to see the video game industry succeed and become more prominent than what it is.
But it's our
and so
media.
you can't just tell him to turn away from it. It's turn it back.
here's the point. It is our
If-
media, but
If I want to fix, my love, if I want to see it grow and become something more, then this is going to be...
it's like telling Picasso, you know what, Mona Lisa should have smiled.
Yeah,
we don't want to see any more angry
Who's Da
pictures.
Vinci?
I'm sorry. I do apologize.
I know
I know what you meant. I should have said that as an
You
asshole.
know, I knew
But
just,
all I'm saying is, if I see a flaw in the system that I want to succeed, then it's
you're
going to
not
bug me
seeing
that
a
it's still
flaw in
there.
the system, you're seeing a flaw in the person. These people are coming and they're creating these games, right? It's their game. I understand that they're going to give it to you, but it's their baby. They do what they want to do with it. But you can't be like, okay, hey, this what you did right here, this creative moment that you had, or this fantasy of
A bounce house ass is a creative
The
moment.
best-
What would
best parts
what
about
would
the game
hold
is
on?
having sex
What
with Miranda.
would
Like,
take away?
going forward.
Okay, but
Remember
having
Dead or
sex
Alive?
with
Well, going forward to try to have sex with them, making the choices, you're constantly. That's like a good part of the story. You're like,
okay,
do you remember Dead or Alive?
Sexuality
the guy who
is
made
not-
Dead or Alive?
with the bouncy boobs.
Yes, that's all he talked about.
I know,
And
and that hold on, but that's different. The whole wait a second. That jiggly boob thing was a big deal to him on the development floor. Making those things, and even putting the extra, like having the extra side game where you could really make the boobs jiggle a lot.
Yeah.
That was kind of a focus for him. We're talking
Because it was his.
what we're talking about is, would it take away from the story if Miranda looked more like a real woman, a beautiful real woman, than
but you wouldn't go visit her.
How many gratuitous ass shots are there in 2 and 3?
right? Would that take away from Mass Effect if it had been toned
You
down?
wouldn't have visited her.
We're not talking about intentional booby jiggling from Dead or Alive, okay?
No,
We're not
I'm
talking
talking
about
about the guy.
We're not talking
He's
about
like,
the
okay, hey,
Dead
this
or
is
Alive
mine.
volleyball. No, we're talking about this.
It makes me take the game less seriously.
And if you had cut back on it artistically, Shaq, if you had cut back on those ass shots, just looking at Miranda's ass, or even Miranda being as attractive as she was,
Because she walks in and the camera's low, you're going to see Shepard's face and Miranda's ass. And that thing has curves that I've never seen in reality.
so if those had been made more realistic but still beautiful, what would have been artistically? What have you been wrong? What would you have been
Artistically,
wrong?
nothing. But,
Exactly.
But
So why
while
not
you're playing
do
the game, you would be like, maybe I should go visit that ass some more. No, you wouldn't have done that. You would have been like, I'll just leave that whole section alone.
That would only be if sexuality was a huge theme
It
in Mass
added-
Effect, which it wasn't.
It's a huge
It
thing
was
with
a
people,
side.
you know?
It was a side.
It was a
thing.
side. You actually get an
wasn't a
achievement
huge
for
It was a
thing.
side. That's what I'm saying. It was a side.
And was it
Exactly.
any less? Was it any less fulfilling to sleep with Liara?
the,
who was
the bottom
more
line
realistic?
is the bottom line is when I saw this shot, I said, oh, okay, and I was not I didn't care about what was going on because that stuck out to me. And I was like, why is that there?
It was gratuitous. The answer to the question is, it was gratuitous.
That's my bottom line. Is that it took me out of the scene.
It's
Right.
feeding to
Regardless
Shepard's
of anything you
man
say.
aspect.
Yeah,
Okay, he's a man.
exactly.
He's gonna have sex with all these people. They're gonna feed to his aspect.
Can I say something real
That's the whole
fast?
thing
How
that
did
makes
you
me
think that a conversation about asses was going to be a small conversation with poor guy?
I should have figured that Shaq's going to argue with me and find something to...
I didn't find it. It was already there. I didn't have
just-
to point it out to you. It was there. It's hey. It's their direction or hey.
I had
you're gonna
sex
be
with
having-
Liara.
Yeah.
Pedophile.
I did too.
Pedophile.
It didn't affect my experience with the game.
She was a more realistic looking body figure than Miranda was.
You guys missed out on a lot of Mass Effect if sex had that much.
No, it
No,
didn't have that
it
much.
It's just something you know you have to do because you're into. Like you're like, okay, I know I'm gonna have to have sex with one of these girls, so I'm at least gonna fulfill that side.
Yeah,
of
but
the
if you guys
Can
are
you
making
play
this big
Jade
of a
Empire?
deal over an ass in Mass Effect, then you missed the point of Mass
Did you
Effect.
play Jade Empire?
Did I play what?
Jade Empire.
That was
All
it
those
was-
girls were homely. They're all homely looking.
Yeah.
You can have sex with one of them, and
I'm
it
just
didn't
saying-
take away from the story at all. It didn't take away from anything. You just it's something you
This
do.
entire argument, the escalation of it, the length of it, is just proving my point that we need to grow up. It doesn't need to
You
make
talking
that.
about having two black guys? Come on now. What are you?
I gave him an artistic
All right, let's move on.
example.
I don't think it hinders the artistic.
Okay.
If
It doesn't help it.
the women were
So it does nothing
more
for it.
realistic, and they don't have to be ugly. They
for
can have a
one
nice
person.
ass, just not.
For one person to be taken out and it broke the hypnotics of the game, the purpose of the game. For that to happen to one person hinders the game, in my opinion. It may not be a big deal to you, that's fine, but that's my entire point.
You think if her ass had been less attractive, that it wouldn't have snapped you out of it?
I didn't need an ass shot. It didn't need to fit perfectly in the cinematographic rule of thirds.
So it didn't help or inhibit your gameplay.
It would
It broke him out of it.
It broke
him
me out of
the
it. That's what I'm
narrative.
saying.
It took him out of the narrative for a second.
Anyways,
Okay.
let's move
okay.
on. I didn't expect
Okay.
that to blow up.
I just didn't see it. Probably because I watch anime all the time.
And the thing is anime is even more over the top than video games are right now.
All
I mean,
right, all right. Let's go. Let's move on.
fan
to something else.
service all day.
Let's move on to something else.
Check.
Discussion topic.
Anime Fest.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I want to talk about Anime Fest anyways. There's a voiceover
Go ahead,
contest. In Trey.
Shaq's topic. Let John take over. What did you want to talk about?
I want to hear what John has to say. He seems like he was about to get on that soapbox. Let's go.
Anime Fest looks fun. No, there's a lot of cool. I was reading all the different things they have going on, and they can't. There was apparently every year there's a cosplay chess where people in cosplay will be your characters, and you know they'll pick people to play chess against each other in the thing, but they canceled that because some drama or something for this year. I'm like, no, I would have loved to.
That sounds cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and the cosplay people, like whenever it goes, they'll do a little fight scene, like with their cosplay, and then whoever's supposed to win will get off the chessboard, and they have this big chessboard painted on the floor. So
That sounds awesome.
yeah, and they've had it every year, and then this year, just like 3 days ago, they're like, sorry, this is canceled
That would have
because
made a
of.
fantastic video.
It would have, and so I was just going to go in there and put like, I'll play this, play me in chess, I'm good, we can do this, and then I read there, oh well, crap, they canceled it, so it's not happening, and that sucks. There's a voiceover contest, voiceover idol. I think Trey, you'd be really good at that. You should submit a voiceover thing, and because you submit an entry for round 1 before the Anime Fest starts, and then they'll tell you if you're going to be round 2 and round 3 are actually at the convention, so you read an anime monologue, and you submit it to them on YouTube or whatever, and then at the thing you'll actually go up there and read in front of 3 judges that they have.
That'd be cool.
At the fest. Yeah, as a thing. Oh, they just have. I don't know. I was reading about the cool events, and anyways, you guys made me feel bad. Go ahead, Shaq. What were you wanting to say about A-Fest?
But basically, you summed it up.
Yes. I said it again.
Basically, yeah.
I'm going for the merchandise.
Oh, me too.
Yes, I love the merchandise.
They canceled the trade fair this year, so they usually have like a swap meet. And for whatever reason, none of the people who usually put on A-Fest wanted to run the swap meet, and so they're not having a swap meet.
Yeah, as
long as I still get the
I hate your
prize.
news model here. They do this every year. It's awesome. I hate that.
I was disappointed in both of those things.
That sucks.
Anime swag swap meet? Take me.
That really does suck.
It does suck.
Anything else, Shaq?
Looking forward to the booths. Like when we went, we saw a bunch.
Yeah.
We saw the steampunk booth, which was amazing.
That was cool. They had an H.P. Lovecraft booth that I kind of melted for. That's where I got my poster, the Obama Lovecraft poster. Yeah, that's where I got that one.
Yeah. You wanted the.
Dude, I had.
No,
They
I
had
had
that
the
in a
most
shirt,
awkward
and I
one.
wanted that in a
No.
shirt.
You got a picture of it, or like I need to see the HP Lovecraft
It's
poster.
in
It's in my room.
Yeah.
You'll see it because you're going to be on some more podcasts.
You got raped.
Anything else?
Anything else?
Girls.
Cosplay. Let's not get into that because Nicole started to watch the podcast.
Oh, have you gotten into any trouble?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Sorry,
Not
Nicole.
Oh.
Okay.
I don't know if she heard it.
I was thinking about cosplaying and then I cut my hair. I was thinking about my hair was real poofy, and I'm gonna grow it out all the
George Roberto.
way.
That was James.
No, I was gonna get my hair puffy and get a blue suit and a black tie and a yellow button-up suit.
James is the cool dude from Mass Effect 3.
I hated James.
That shit's so good.
I wanted to make a Vault 101 jumpsuit,
Oh,
even though it's not anime.
Have you played, but anyway, have you played, what's that game called? Onimusha.
Yeah.
Have you played 4?
Yeah. We need to wrap up if we don't have any more topics.
I have one more.
Alright, we'll go, but yes, A-Fest.
What about Onimusha?
I'm just
The
saying.
dude named
this is-
Roberto
Uh-huh.
looks just like you.
Really?
Yeah, his weapons are his fizzy wears gauntlets.
Onimusha 4.
Yeah.
Okay. I've played 2 on PS2.
Hey, Shaq, are you playing Prototype 2?
Hour and a half. Let's go.
I'm sorry, Trey.
That's
We
fine.
can talk about it next week. I was going to talk
No,
about
go ahead.
Ouya
No.
for a little bit.
Go ahead.
Ouya
Oh, yeah.
is going to be, and I did not know this at the time that we've talked about Ouya, and I have only recently found out about it. Ouya is going to be completely open. And what I mean by completely open is every box. Now, see, this may not make a lot of sense. In order to develop a game, you need a development kit. Unreal packages there, UDK,
Right.
and you can download it. CryEngine packages there, engine, and you can download it and develop it. It's a development kit. There's all kinds. Unity is another one that has a development kit that you can develop in. You have to have a source package to be able to develop on whatever you're wanting to develop on. You need a development kit. Every Ouya is going to be a development kit. You pay $99 for it. With Unreal, you have to buy licenses. I mean, with Microsoft Visual Studio to develop little apps inside Microsoft, you have to pay for a Visual Studio license. Well, Ouya is going to be a complete dev kit
Inside
with the
console.
game. Right, with the console, you get the dev kit. That's huge. That means
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Instead of each developer having their own dev kit.
right. Instead
one
of
console.
packaging a dev kit and giving it to the development, you get the console, and that's the dev kit. That have it all there
That's
to develop
fantastic.
it.
That's huge.
It's massive. On top of that, they'll give you diagrams of how to take the thing apart. It's completely hackable. All the hardware. You can build custom peripherals for it.
This thing's gonna
Actual
change
hardware
everything.
peripherals. Exactly. Like you can open it up like you can your desktop computer and pull the graphics card out and put your own graphics card in, assuming you find a graphics card. Anyways, they're opening up the entire inside blueprint for hardware hackers. They have the kernel, the Linux kernel that all Android operating systems run on, completely open. It's coming rooted. You don't have to, like with my phone. I have to plug it in and root it to get to the kernel. The Ouya is coming with the kernel open. It's a built-in dev kit, and the hardware is completely hackable. You
That's
can
awesome.
do all kinds of engineering to it. I had no idea that they were doing it like this. Because what made me find this was we were talking about Ouya. Like, I wonder when they're since the Kickstarter ended, they had all their funding. I went to go look to see if they had started a discussion about who they're sending the dev kits out to first, what companies they're going to get that are going to get dev kits, so they'll have content on the release. Well, that's when I stumbled across this information. I'm like, it's going to be a dev kit. Like that's going to be
awesome.
It's incredible. It's amazing, and it just goes back to the very first conversation.
I want to see you do something with that.
I can't wait.
Earned your nickname today. Colonel. You used it 3 times.
But it's like kernel, like not like.
It's KERNEL is the Linux kernel.
KFC.
not KO. I know. Long story short, that changes everything again. Ouya in and of itself, everything's going to have a free demo component. Everything you put on live is still going to, they're still going to, even though they got bought out, on live is still going to be standard on the Ouya. That's huge.
That's awesome.
Just everything about this has made me incredibly excited. It's made a lot of people incredibly excited. I want to. Well, you said I want to do something with it. That's why I went looking for the dev kit. I'm like, okay, how can I start doing something with this? Because I would love to have a game. I would personally love to have a game on their store ready to go out to people, in March when this thing is launches.
Yeah.
It would be incredible. It would be amazing. What do I need to do to be able? And that's what I went looking at. Well, that's what I found. And when I stumbled on that information, it puts this industry into the hands of the innovators. It puts it into the hands. It takes the big bureaucratic. It really separates
For
it.
the people of the people.
Yeah. It puts it back in there, and I think that it's gonna be just.
This is gonna be awesome. I can't wait. All right, we need to cut this off unless we've got one more little thing.
I did have one more little thing.
All right, we really do need to stop. Rumble Pack Gaming. I'm here with John Slammy Stinnett.
I like it. Peace out.
Shaquille Courtney. And our guest, Mark Johnson. Was awesome to have you on.
It's good to be on, man.
And we'll see you guys next week.